Hello there and welcome to So Says Kez. My name's Kerry Ann and quick disclaimers, these are just my thoughts and opinions. I speak on behalf of nobody else, nobody tells me what to say, all this stuff up here, and also I am inclined to swear quite a bit. Get passionate, what can you do? Now today we're going to have a little story time, which does sort of go down the same lines I'm going down at the minute. Because I'm kind of focusing on religion right now. Even though when I started this channel almost 18 years ago, that's where I started. That's why I started So Says Kez, was due to religion. I'd asked the universe to show me what God was. And here I am 18 years later, and I have nothing but proof that I was directed down this right path. And when you anyways, carry on, get into it. I went into town on Saturday and it was incredibly religious, right? Because shopping. So I thought I'd take you with me up Leicester city centre. Sounds like a good splicing video, doesn't it? I can't do that. I'm not one of them YouTubers. Just bought myself a microphone. It's revolutionised my world. Why didn't I do this 17 years ago? Here we are. Anyways, also I get dry mouth because I gab a lot. Oh, and also I am inclined to tangent at times because brain works in different ways. When I put myself on an experiment back in 2007, and one of the parts of that experiment is that I don't use my brain in the way that I always used to use my brain. So I do lose my train of thought quite a bit because there's a lot up here going on all the fucking time. Anyways, Friday night my son says to me like, do you fancy going town tomorrow? So I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's go shopping, right? Because we usually go same sort of places for shopping and whatever. So we thought we'd have a look around different places, right? And we went up there, walked through town centre. By the clock tower, there was a gospel choir, all of them black, obviously, because black people can sing, I assume. Or white people don't want to join, or I don't know, but I know that they're not racist because you used to have yeah, well, I don't know if black people are racist. I don't know, I just know I'm not. I do actually have a black friend who's incredibly racist. You people, at every fucking sentence, but I love her. Forgive them for they know not what they do. Like, when you get to the truth of the matter, you realise that none of these divisions mean anything. We're not different, none of us. Not the colour of our skin, not what we put, not how many sugars we put in our tea. Nothing divides us. I think Jason Donovan said, carry on the point. Anyways, right, so they were all like dressed like university leavers, you know, the big cloak thing with a black cloak with a red tabard, triangular tabard, all very Masonic. Fairly they know, and a crucifix, which is also Masonic, 12 around one, that kind of thing. Yeah, and literally, and one of them was in a wheelchair, and literally it was just pure joy, pure unadulterated fucking joy. I'd have stood there for ages. I'd have found myself a chair, to be fair, if I'd not been with my son. But like, he's like looking at me like, what are you doing? Like, because he's wanting to go shopping, and I'm like, oh, you know, like, but ain't it good? And he's like, yeah, it really, you know, like, really does feel the hallelujahs and this, that, and the other. It lifted both of our spirits, but I felt it, you know, like, it didn't make me want to worship God, right? Nothing physically could make me want to worship Jehovah or Allah, or I don't even know what Judaism worships. I do not know. As I said on the last video I did, and what I've been saying. Really need to look it up. Do I want to? I can't even, you know, I've just bought a Quran and not bought Right Free. There's a free website, and I suggest everybody does. It's called the Free Quran or something. But there is a website in England where you can go and get a free Quran, big black hardbound book. And I think everybody should. I think everybody should have a little look at this and a little look at the Bible. Everybody should know what it's about, but don't go to somebody who's, like literally, well, I don't know. I spent a year and a half on a Bible study course with the Jehovah's Witnesses before they kicked me off because I couldn't get past Genesis, because there's no getting past Genesis if you are a sane human being. I mean, this is what I don't grasp about religious people. They're like, oh, God is perfect, God is this, that, and the other. It's like, according to what I was taught for a year and a half from the Jehovah's Witnesses, basically, Satan tempted mankind, and instead of just scrumpling up the fucking first prototype and chucking it in the waste paper bin and having another go, God said, all right then, I'm going to let these live for thousands of years under your tutelage. You can have them, Satan, right? And I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to watch them suffer, because in the end, right, they're going to be begging for me. They will come searching for me because they know you're wrong. That is fucking arrogance out of the park. That is like literally, and the way, because I am fond of analogies, and the way I put it, that's like me, like the neighbour over the road saying, I can bring your kids up better than you can, and me going, all right then, fucking having them, and me sitting there and looking over the window and seeing them through the windows beating my fucking kids, and my kids crying and begging for them to stop, and not going over there and putting that fucker on their arse and saving my kids, literally so that my kids had come back to me one day and go like, Mum, I'm so sorry, I wanted to live over there, oh, I love you so much, oh, please have me back, please have it. If no, fuck off. I wouldn't do it. And literally that would make me better than God. And that's physically impossible because God's perfect. So I can't get past Genesis. Cannot get past Genesis. No way a loving, all-knowing God would take the start of a creation and let that flourish just to fucking watch the fucking foot. No. It's completely up. Right, Adam and Eve, bolt of lightning. Let's start that again, but let's take out free will. And I've learned that, the whole worship me, your life is to work, fuck off. No, my life is to make whatever I can of this life that I have, use it to make other people have a better day. Like every day I'm like, right, what can I do today? That sounds like I'm some kind of fucking Anthea Turner kind of bitch, but I'm not. But my whole ethos is I want to make the universe have a fantastic day. Because if I put my part into this energy soup, if I make sure that my energy going into this universal supercomputer that we're all a part of, which is what I believe that God is, an all-knowing, ever-present fucking thing that we are all a part of. No fucking concept. It's madness. What a stupid thing to say, Carrie Ann. Of course it's not. It's a fucking bloke sat on a fucking cloud, you idiot. Sorry. Anyways, right. I'm going too far ahead, ain't I? Naughty bad me. It's my favourite topic is religion, even though I don't know that much about other ones. Anyway, so Christianity weren't for me, right? But I stood there and I watched these gospel singers sing, and it was joyous. It was bliss. It was wonderful. I absolutely loved it. Bliss is a bit far. But it was, and we both stood there, and it was like a sort of a battery recharge, like I felt myself going, woo. Do you know what I mean? Which is what religion should do, right? It should big you up. It should make you feel better than you did before you heard a sermon or this, that, and the other. So like big smile on my face. we walked off, and literally with about a dozen steps, there was a group of Muslim men with a cardboard box. And this fella, and he got one of the, those black and white, and I want to say Kafie, the scar. He got red one of them tied round his head. He was middle-aged, I'd say, got very pock-marked face. Well, not English. And he was holding a Quran, the yay big, right? And I caught his eye as I was walking by, because I was looking at him and nobody else was. So he's like, oh, you mean? And I said, oh, I've just got a Quran, but I got the big one, and so we stopped to talk. And I was there about 10 minutes before I had to pull myself away, because my son was getting increasingly pissed off with me talking to this man, and he just wanted to go shopping. So I stood there with this chap for 10 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, I've bought the Quran. I got it off this website and whatever. And so he put the Quran down, because I already had one, right? And he picked up this thing, right? And he started excitingly trying to sell me Allah, right? Trying to sell me. It was, right, this is, I don't know whether somebody else would try and do it anyway. And then when I'm going to tell you in a little bit what's in here, or what he showed me, right? It was all very rapid, quick fire and whatever, because we were in Leicester Town Centre and he wanted to get his point across. The end, he gave me a piece of paper with all, and it just looked like hello, goby, ooby dooby dooby, flibby flobby, woo woo woo. When you convert to Islam, say this. He didn't give me the piece of paper, so I can't say it. But I ain't going to convert to Islam on my deathbed, mate. There is nothing that would cause me to convert to a man-made religion. So if I ever say that I've converted to a man-made religion, which were all written by them bastards who stole the secrets of the universe in the first place, then I've been kidnapped, and it's a cry for help. So send the Rosas. Yeah, but he put it back down afterwards. He's like excitedly, oh yeah, and look at this, and whatever. And I'm like, oh, right, okay. And then he put it back in the box and got this folder, this present folder. So I flipped through this folder, and it says here on this piece of paper and whatever. And I'm like, oh, how much for one of them? Because I'm like, I want that fucking book. I want to read this when I go home, because I was quite, what? But he's like, no, they're free. I'm like, why don't you fucking give me one then, you daft git? I do. So when I say daft git, right, because yesterday on the last video, I ended it and said, like, I love you all, even them daft twats. And literally, it was just a comedic fucking throwaway. Please don't think that I think people are twats. Like, twat is a nasty word, but not when I say it. Like, it's one of them things. It's a thing that I do. So yeah, so he gave me one, and it was like quick fire, and embryo and a leech. This is proof, by the way, that Allah lives. This is called A Brief Illustrated Guide to Understanding Islam. This looks like the Quran is coming to some heavenly place from earth. Is this where heaven is? Is this where all the virgins hang out? I don't know. Anyways, so he was like this, and this the Quran on human embryonic development. This proves that the Quran is the word of God, because in the Quran it says, we created man from an extract of clay, then we made I never thought I need to ask somebody about this. If you're Muslim, please Tell me why. He says, we made him as a drop in a place of settlement firmly fixed. Then we made the drop into an alaka, leech, suspended thing, and blood clot. I mean, the three things. Then we made the alaka into a mudgar, chewed substance. That's the passage. And this is proof, because the embryo looks like a leech. And that embryo there looks like that particular piece of chewed gum. This particular piece of chewed gum. That's why the Quran is true, according to this dude. That's my favourite. Mountains. He went, do you know what the mountains are? Right. Brief. Like I don't remember much from my school. But I do remember that, like, tectonic plates rub together, and obviously there's, like the room, and so, like, it pushes up, and obviously it will push down because, like, they're moving, and it just, they can't fucking move through each other. So that's what I learned. I'm wrong. The mountains were put there as pegs to stop the earth getting, I don't know, blowing away in the wind. The pegs. Mountains are pegs. And mountains are like glaciers, in that 2/3 of the mountain is hidden underneath the ground. But yeah, they're placed there as pegs to stop the earth getting rowdy, apparently. And that proves that proof that God knows that Muhammad, or whoever wrote the Quran, knew that that's what mountains are, placed there as pegs. Have we not made the earth as a bed and the mountain as pegs? The mountains as pegs? Quran 78, 6-7. So this is how the Quran has described mountains. God has said in the Quran, have we not made the earth as a bed and the mountains as pegs? And he has set firm mountains in the earth so that it would not shake. So it's to stop earthquakes. Then that's proof that the Quran is the word of God, is the fact that the mountains are pegs to stop earthquakes. Anyways, we were there, we were chatting for everything. I managed to get a little preaching myself. Bearing in mind, he'd got 10 minutes with me. And he was reading something out. I went, well, I don't believe that, for a second. And he's like, well, what do you believe? So in like 60 seconds, I got in the old, like, well, I believe that basically we're part of the universe is one expanding energy, that's our creator. And that basically if that energy is positive, then it has that energy to create more. And if everything is negative, it goes into atrophy, and we're not evolving, and this, that, and the other, quite quickly. And he went, oh, that's exactly what I believe. That we're, because I managed to get in there that, like, I think that we're all equal, and that there is no division between humanity, and that I think that, like, man-made religion is there to divide us, when really we should all be working as one, this kind of thing. And this is it that proves that he said he thinks that what I think, the same as Allah. Basically, I'm just saying what it says in the Quran. The purpose of life, according to the Quran. 1. Worship and obedience to Allah. Sorry. The primary purpose of human existence is to recognize and worship Allah alone, living in obedience to his command. I did not create the jinn and mankind except to worship me. That is where you have me fucking all the way off. No way. No way would I, with one of my children, say, I had you so that you could love on me on a daily basis for the rest of my life and make me feel fantastic about myself. I don't care how much you suffer. I don't care who you kill. As long as you love me, that's why I gave birth to you. Utter bollocks. Would not behave like that. That puts me above Allah, which cannot possibly happen because Allah is perfect. That's for proving that it's wrong. To me. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are humongous amounts of people, billions of people on this planet who have better morals than that. It's all about me. I've created this whole thing just to fucking give myself a huge boner on the daily. Love me, I'm fantastic. Fuck off. That is so up your own arse. That is supreme arrogance. And no loving creator would do that to his creation, in my personal opinion. Anyways, then, I'm just, because I feel like I'm dissing them now. And I really did enjoy the conversation. I was hoping to get something out of it. Do you know what I mean? I do want to learn about other people's religions, genuinely. Right? But ultimately, the people who wrote all of those books, they're my enemy, and that's what I came here to do, is get rid of them fuckers. Well, not what I came here to do. It makes it sound like I ever, but that's what over the course of my life, what I have learned shows me that this world will get no better until they're knocked off their perch. We don't have to kill them. We don't have to steal their things. We just have to make sure that they do not make our decisions for us, because they make our decisions for them. Always have, always will, so that they can get away with enslaving the entire planet, right? And religion is one of the key tools that they have used to enslave mankind. They literally make us do nothing with our life on the promise that when we're dead, something good will happen then. I did actually I remember mentioning to this bloke about, like, oh, isn't it that, like, the more Jews you kill, the more virgins you get in the afterlife and whatever. He, like, scooted over that. But he did, barefaced, lie to my face. Remember, Takia, Muslims can lie, right? And to go to the nth, you've got Sadiq Khan, who sat there in a meeting where this Susan lady was saying to him, like, oh, they're grooming gangs in London. And he is sitting there going, like, I don't know what you're asking. Are there grooming gangs in London? Like, the Rochdale grooming gangs, Muslim grooming gangs, up and down the country, are there ones that operate in London as well? Well, I'm sorry, but if she reworded the question and asked more specific terms, then I'd be able to answer, but I can't answer now. Takia, right? He was lying in public, and that is the nth degree, right? To further Islam, right? And then on the, to prove that it happens in daily life, we've got that woman in Leicester who was done for drink driving. The policeman got her out of the car. How many you've had to drink? I don't drink because I'm a Muslim. Now that could have been, she could have been lying there for any number of reasons. It could have been that she was going to get a pasting when she got home for breaking one of Allah's rules, because in Islam, women are seen as lesser beings, only half as intelligent as men. They only get half the inheritance. Can't divorce her husband without his permission. All of this fandango. But yeah, we got to. He was going on about how Islam is, like, peaceful, and basically gets on with every other religion. Oh, mate, literally the shit coming out of this man's mouth. And it was, if I didn't know what I know, if I hadn't been on this journey, I would have believed that man. I did believe a man. Like, because the Muslims have been in Leicester City Centre for ages, and it's got to be way over a decade ago when I first got a Quran. Cat shit on that, like diarrhea shout on the phone. I should have seen it as a sign. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, these Muslims, they're really nice. They're so sweet. You know what I mean? I was Karen Pickering. Oh, the Imam's a lovely fella. Yeah, mate. Wait until he buries you right up to the waist so he can correctly stone you. Then let's see how you like him. What a lovely man he is. Yeah, so, but he was so convincing. And he was talking absolute lies, right? And at one point in time, I said to him, because he was going on about how, you know, the religion of peace, despite the fact, tangent, last night watched a video from Nuxanor, and basically the mayor of New York, the guy who's running for mayor of New York, is a Muslim, and he was doing that whole thing that's been going on in England for 30 years of feel sorry for us, we're oppressed. You saw, like, watch some footage of Tower Hamlets last fucking Saturday, mate, and you'll see that they're not the religion of peace. But this fucking New York mayor candidate is going like, oh, us poor Muslims, we need a better representation. We're downtrodden. We're attacked more than any other religion, more than any other demographic. We get it the worst. It's like, mate, no, flip that about, mate. You're the most oppressive. Literally, what, you either leave it, you either join us or you die. If you leave us, you die. Everybody dies if you're not a Muslim. Anyways, he said to me about, like, getting on really well. And I said, like, oh, well, not so well in Nigeria then, and like, with all the tens of thousands of people who have been slaughtered by Muslims. These are facts. Go and look it up. In Nigeria at the minute, there's currently a genocide going on by Muslims against Christians, right? This religion of peace, this religion that's just a victim, is a humongous great victim, the world's biggest victim. Islam is the world's biggest victim, and just so oppressed, so misunderstood, currently committing genocide, slaughtered all the people in Kashmir who weren't Muslims, basically slaughtering non-Muslims, right? They're the only religion going around the world doing this. They're the religion that did 9/11. They're the religion. And this New York mayor candidate said that the biggest, like, he thought it was awful after 9/11. His auntie was too scared to get on a tube in her hijab. Like, going on about, like, how that was, you know, she was the greatest casualty of 9/11. Never mind the 3,000 people murdered allegedly by Muslims, but it was his auntie, because she felt a little bit uncomfortable after her people had slaughtered 3,000 people. She felt awkward in her hijab. Oh, Nenny, bless. Anyways, so I said, like, what about the people in Nigeria? And this man looked me square in the face with a smile and went, no, that's not Muslims. Not Muslims slaughtering Nigeria. But I didn't bother to ask who he thought it was, because it had made him feel uncomfortable, because he didn't have an answer, because it's Muslims that are slaughtering Christians in Nigeria, right? But he stood there and he lied to my face. Taqiya, Taqiyya. It is a thing. They also have their own word for gang rape. But victims. This is me being a nasty, vile, evil, racist Islamophobe. Even though some of them are black and some of them are Middle Eastern, and I'm racist against all of them, apparently. And they're defending the people in Nigeria, the Muslims in Nigeria. They're all black, but I'm racist against just one of them. Yeah, he said, no, it's not Muslims. Right? And I'm like, right, okay. Anyways, my son wanted to go. He wasn't happy. Because there was this, well, he wasn't a tramp. He didn't look homeless, right? There was this man who was asking him for money, right? And he came up afterwards, after we'd walked away, and asked me, and I said, sorry, you've just asked us by. But he was asking my son for money, and my son said, sorry, I've only got a card. So he asked my son to bank transfer him some money. The world's gone fucking nuts. Absolutely batshit fucking crazy, mate. So anyways, I'm like, I said to this chap, and there were 3 of them. There were these 2 other Muslim chaps who had also come up, and were like, but I was talking to this one and whatever. So I'm like, I know what they think of me, and you will not intimidate me. So I wasn't. They came over like, 3 men, 1 woman. So I turned my back on one, and like, you know what I mean? I'm talking to this man over here. Excuse me. You can witness the conversation. And he got his phone out at one point. I thought, if you want to film me, you can film me, mate. But you can witness, but you ain't going to intimidate me. And then at the end, right, I'm like, look, I'm so sorry, but I've really got to go. So he gave me the piece of paper, which is great. I have read the whole thing. Number 2, seeking knowledge, which is the one that he said, being a steward on earth, Allah appointed humans as caretakers of the earth. We must use resources responsibly, promote justice and maintain balance in creation. And it is he who has made you successors upon the earth. Trials and tests for spiritual growth. I think that might be the one. Striving for the hereafter. And I basically told him, like, I'm not going to live my life not living, just in case I might have something good happen after I'm dead. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do my good work in this lifetime, as much as I can in this lifetime, to help free my species from their captors. They don't even know. We don't even know that we're slaves. Anyways, right. This is the best bit. So, because I thought, you know what I mean? I know what they think of me. Their smiles. Well, the taller one, he was a bit of a right. I bet he fucking beats his wife a fucker. He looked like a bit of a knobhead, right? And then there's the smiling assassin. He was a bit, you know what I mean? You know, white man speak with forked tongue, even though he wasn't a white man. And then there was the other one was quite cute. He was darker skinned, short guy, quite young. And he was the one with the phone and the one that was by the side of me. So I'd sort of like, no, I hadn't turned my back on him, but I had got my shoulder. I was purposefully facing this one man. So I put my hand out to shake his hand. And he shook it. The one that I'd been speaking to for 10 minutes, he shook my hand. And then I turned and I thought, I'm going to do a bitch. But I'm not. I'll just prove my point, mate. Because I know what you're doing, even though you're lying to me. So I turned around to this lad and literally, he gave me his hand and like it was like spam. Like a slice of spam. No grip. Didn't grip my hand at all. He just went like that. Like, and I shook his hand. And now the third bloke, he pulled his hand away, put his hand to his fucking chest, and went like that. Like, no fucking way am I touching you, you unclean bitch. Racist. You know what I mean? He was like, oof, God no, I'm not touching that. I was prepared to, but I'm the racist one, apparently. I'm the racist one because the government says so. Says that I'm the racist one. Even though he looked at my hand like it was a stick of fucking dynamite. Like, no, not like it was a stick of dynamite. That you'd love that, probably. Like, hurl it at somebody getting to kill. Because it's a death cult. Sex and death. The sex and murder. Like, sex and violence. Dizzy Rascal should become Islamic. Or if he did, I'd go off him. I love Dizzy Rascal. He's too clever for that. But I did say, he said, like, well, it was quite an interesting conversation. He asked me what I thought, how people were punished then. Because obviously they've got the hellfire and whatever. And he's like, well, how do you think that people are punished then? in the afterlife. I'm like, I think that your energy is just, I think you have so many times, so many reincarnations to live your life. And then basically, if you continue to be an utter dick and you aren't contributing towards the energy that we're all a part of, like this huge universal energy soup, if you're not contributing to that, then your energy is just recycled and they start on a new entity and somebody else starts from the beginning. But if you keep living your lives and you're never fucking growing, and you keep being evil at people and your energy is just bad, what's the use of keeping that energy around? Because you're just tainted. It's the bad apple, and like nobody puts a mouldy fucking potato in their stew. So the universe ain't gonna want that, you know what I mean? Which is why ultimately everything's gonna right itself in however fucking long that takes. At the minute, it's all about face, as we all know. So yeah, and then so that's like Christians and Jews. Then we went into JD Sports, right? And then we came home, watched the video on Tower Hamlets, and Tower Hamlets looked like the contents of JD Sports. Like we have this thing, like we'll go by on the top seat of the bus and see the young men. It's like a Youth of England uniform of like black puffer jacket, Adidas backpack, black trousers, black trainers, often a fucking face covering on, or up. Everybody looks identical. It's like a uniform, like a costume. And that is JD Sports. We walked in and it's like, the fucking hell's in here? Everything looks the fucking same. Like everything was fucking black. So yeah, we didn't buy anything from JD Sports. We did find some colour, but then realised we were in the women's section. And there still weren't that much colour. JD Sports, depressing fucking shop, but very busy and incredibly expensive for my taste. But then I'm a cheaper. Yeah, so we did a bit of shopping and whatever. And we were coming out of the Haymarket. And as we were going down this, because by this time my ankle started hurting. So as we were going down this sort of ramp thing, there were these two lads coming up, black lads. One of them had sort of like dreads, I don't know, like short. But they look so cool, right? They got black bomber jackets on, black cargo pants, black boots. They look like they could be Jungkook's backing dancers, mate. Like they look, and I said to Corey, how cool do them lads look, right? Anyways, right, they were coming up this ramp as we were going down. We came down this ramp, turned around, I don't know how this happened, right? Came down this ramp, out the door. We didn't go in any shops. Like, out the door, and then they were just fucking stood in front of us by the clock tower. Like, literally, I said to Corey, like, how the fuck did they get there? They must have just come up the ramp and then just gone straight back out again, down the stairs, because, like, you come up a ramp and then go, but you could go down the stairs or down this ramp. They were coming up the ramp, so they must have come up the ramp and just gone straight back down the stairs and out, but they were outside. And I saw the back of the jackets as we walked by. They just stood there and thinking, and they got a big circle on the back. I don't know, but it was a circle and the words went round the circle. And the first word on the words that went round the circle was Israelite. And I'm like, right, there's that Israel. And literally these two dudes who, you know what I mean, black, odd as fuck, do you know what I mean? Weren't particularly tall, but both sort of about the same height. Could have been brothers, twins, you know what I mean? Yeah, they were just stood there eyeing up the fucking Moses. And I'm like, are these guys, like, is this some Israel? Like, Israel was in the word. But Israelites, that's fucking God squad, isn't it? That's Christian shit, isn't it? I don't know. Anyways, they were just sort of stood there watching the Muslims. And I'm like, fucking, we got out of there. I don't know whether they were being menacing, whether it was an intimidation tactic. Do not fucking know. But if it were, it'd just go to show, wouldn't it? Because, like, everybody's just got to dislike somebody because they're a different religion. And I say this every time. Like, literally, I do not dislike Muslims. I dislike Islam. There is a huge difference. I do not dislike Christians. I dislike Christianity. Huge difference. Because these poor sods have been lied to. They've had their innocence raped. Like, literally, somebody's gone like, I see the beauty and the truth in your heart. I'm having that. And I don't think that's fair on a society at all. On people, human beings. And as I keep saying, mankind is my business. My job is to try and help it make sense to people that we have been fucked over forever by them bastards, just so that they personally can have anything that their heart desires whenever their heart desires it. And they do not care how many of us die. In fact, they say, well, they're spokespeople, because they're above, like, the Bill Gates and whatever. Like, Bill Gates is above the fucking governments and whatever. Like, in the hierarchy of evil. You know what I mean? All bum kids. All of them. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna leave that there now. And just say, if you do like my content, please consider subscribing, because I am shadow banned to fuck, because what I speak about is not, it's not even, they don't even want that out there, because if anybody grasps the concept that we have been lied to about religion and realizes who and what God actually is, they're fucked. They losers. The entire planet. The entire planet suddenly realizes how we're meant to be behaving. The world's going to start working without their say so. Do you know what I mean? They tell us that they're the only people who can give anybody money, or, you know what I mean? But the Earth's resources and the manpower on it are the only two physical things that money could ever equate to, ever. And because they created money as well as religion, they basically make it so that we pay to be alive. We're all born naked and alone with only our two hands and the stuff on the planet to make things with. That's all anybody has, and 24 hours in a day. It's so unequal because those bastards were left with secrets that they didn't prepare to share. They cloaked them in symbols and allegory and just fucking pulled a trouser leg up and fuck off to the lot on you. Anyways, thank you for being here. Please come back. Never forget that I love you all. Bye.